Hey there, YouTubers. All right, unboxing video time. So I thought about, doing this so you guys could see my view here in Hawaii. Palm trees. I'm looking at the roof, unfortunately, but yeah, it's beautiful here. In case you're somewhere where it's snowing or it's crappy, yeah, lucky me, right? So I'm gonna change up. We're gonna go do this on the couch, but this is what I got. All right, so what we have here is the Aorus B450 Pro Wi-Fi motherboard, socket AM4. This is obviously a gaming motherboard. You see that? Well, that's not even a sticker. So if you buy this on Amazon, you'll see that it just lists AMD Ryzen 1000, 2000 series compatible, but in actuality, boom. So I've got my Ryzen 9 3900X with me, and I have not been using it. I've been here almost 4 weeks now, and I had to wait, gosh, I want to say 20 days for this to show up. But now we've got it. We're going to unbox it. I'm going to take advantage of my Noctua cooler that I bought and check out that video after this. But let's go ahead and take a look at the back. So there is some damage here. That's always scary, considering it came in another box, right? But hopefully there's nothing wrong with it. We shall see. If not, it'll take another 40 days to get another one. So there's a little picture. We're going to get into heavy details about what's in it. Also, if you're watching this, expect to see a BIOS update video that I'll do, I'm sure. I like to milk the hell out of these kind of products, got to get my money's worth before I then go and sell it and move on to the next thing. But let's see what we got here. So CPU support, Ryzen, Athlon, and really, if you're on my channel, you only care about Ryzen, right? So up to 3000. There's your socket AM4. This is the 450 B450 chipset. Graphics interface, so we'll see that, but there's one PCI Express 3.0 by 16. Display interface, HDMI DVI dual channel DDR4. You see 4 RAM slots. We'll check that out. Expansion slots, etc., etc. All right, this does have Wi-Fi built into it. Let's just go ahead and get it open, and RGB. All right, so boom, and this is boxed pretty much like double boxed, right? So where was that damage? Damage was in the back corner, so hopefully this is not going to be screwed up, but let's look at what else is in the box before we get to the motherboard. Alright, it'll be the standard stuff. We won't spend too much time on it. Okay. So here is a little standoff here, possibly for the M.2 screw there. Another standoff. So Gigabyte G connector here. Okay, if you guys don't know how to use this, check out my video. Of course, I think in the video I do things the way I normally do as far as the cables go. There's a standard way, and then there's the Dave Noble easy to remember way. But check that video out. You've got SATA 3 cables here. 2 of those, it looks like. One with a 90 degree and the other has both straights on it. And there are 2 M.2s in here, okay? Over here we have our Wi-Fi antenna, okay? Hopefully it's magnetic. That appears to be a magnet there. And that'll look nice on our, what do we got? Deep Cool. Matrix 55 version 3, so this is going to all go into that. So you got the nice Aorus sticker. I may actually put that on the case. I usually don't. Here is a disk with the drivers on it. So most people don't build computers these days with CD-ROM or DVD-ROM drivers, so you're probably going to have to download this. In my case, I'm going to do that. And then, of course, here is user manual. And I didn't mention it, but this is a Gigabyte. They're a Gigabyte company or Gigabyte product line, but so we'll keep this out in case you're wanting to know more details about it, and I fail you in my video. There's a picture of what's on there, and let's get into it. Okay, let's go ahead and get it unboxed or unbagged at this point. So I'm kind of excited to get the Ryzen 9 going again. I did just buy a i7 for the channel. We do have an i9, and so it's kind of one of those things where can't game on all these CPUs, right? But they sure help for making gaming videos. If people want to know the differences between them, and by golly, I can help them out. All right, so of course I'm more of a Intel guy, so I do have fun with these AMD motherboards because there are some things slightly different. All right, so obviously this is where your CPU is going to go. Depending on what kind of CPU cooler you get, you may or may not uninstall these guys here, these brackets. And depending on which CPU cooler you get. So the Ryzen 9 would install, you would keep these brackets in. The Ryzen 5 3600X would actually bolt to a bracket on the other side of this. So just some things to note there. All right, so 4 RAM slots there. We lost our light. 4 RAM slots, 24 pin connector for power. Some of the stuff I'm not going to be honestly as familiar with. One of these is going to be your CPU fan, and I would figure the other is optional. So if you have 2 CPU fans and don't run a splitter or whatever, you will use both of these. And I think my Noctua has just a single fan on it. It's a dual tower, but a single CPU fan. 2x4, or basically an 8-pin CPU power connector there. And then here's a system fan. That is really odd, like right up against it. I've never seen that before. It's a little tight. Can't say I like that, but it is what it is. So this is kind of nice to have the smaller PCI Express slot there right above your graphics card instead of burying them in here. This would be a good spot. Of course, this one has Wi-Fi, so maybe use this expansion slot for adding additional USB 3.0s and all the other things you can do, like a additional M.2, right? So we will probably do that at some point. So M.2 here, M.2 here. This is obviously set up really long, and I would imagine there's another hole or a threaded hole here that we can move this down. I'm not sure we're going to be able to use this heatsink here. This may attach though, so we will we'll check that out and see. Otherwise, I'll be using this one. So additional expansion slots there. This is really nice to have, the larger ones instead of, just having a bunch of the smaller ones. One large one, a small one, or 2 of the large ones and a small one. This gives you more flexibility, right? CMOS chip here, so if you end up screwing something up in your BIOS, there's a good chance you can reset your BIOS right there. Alright, so you guys may be able to see this better than I can. This is where your HD audio is here. Can't read half of these. Another system fan. USB 3.0 here. Two USB 2.0s here. Okay. And this is going to be your front panel connector, and your speaker should be in the back. So let me get a close-up of that for y'all so you can see that. Depending on your case, you know, you may not use all these connectors. Alright, so we've got our SATA 3 connectors here, so 4 here and 2 here, and we've covered just about everything on the motherboard. Now let's look at your another system fan connector there. A lot of times I like to count up the system fan connectors for you guys, but since this is the first time I'm looking at it, I've kind of lost track. It looks like there's at least 2 system fan connectors. I mainly use my MOLEDs anyway, so. Alright, there's what you get. Video connectors. You've got DVI, you've got an HDMI, no DisplayPort. Alright, Wi-Fi connectors. It'll be interesting to see how well this works with and without the antenna. A lot of cases you got to have the antennas connected. USB 3.0s, as well as advanced USB 3.1 on the other side there. Let me adjust here. That guy, Type C, okay, right there. So this really has a lot of good capability to it. Ethernet, a couple more USB 3.0s. This looks like optical fiber or fiber optic right here. So that'll be interesting. I've never actually hooked one of these up to my stereo. That would probably be pretty cool to do, or a real sound bar, which we actually have a sound bar here, but I don't have that cable. Then we have stuff for surround sound, microphone, line out, line in, okay, or basically a headphone jack there. So that's gonna do it, folks, for this video. I'm gonna do a little flyover. We'll try and get, you know, relatively close so you guys can see everything. And you know, sometimes when you're looking at the pictures, you don't necessarily get everything out of it that you want, nor do you get to read it. So I try, if you're a fan of the channel, you know that I try to do my best shooting in 4K. Now I don't have my really good 4K camera. That guy has the macro, and I can put it right on the deck and we can read every little detail, right? So this shoots 4K 60 FPS, but it's not as good picture quality. So one day we will get one that does, you know, 4K 60 FPS and provides the best picture quality for you guys. But till that day happens, maybe we'll shoot for 8K. Alright, there you go, folks. Thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe.